Welcome to the Hunter. This is BlindTyldak. I'm sure that you've always been wondering how the heck that was pronounced, so go ahead and just keep calling me BT. I'm not gonna mind. I wanted to do a quick little vid, hopefully it'll be quick, showing how to hunt ducks in the new Rogaroo Bayou, using just 175 EMS. And a lot of people think you can't do it or it's difficult to call down the ducks. I have had success with this, and hopefully I'll get a couple of clean shots. If not, at the very least, I'll hopefully be able to show you that it's definitely possible to get them within range. So, obviously the first thing that we're going to do is switch over for our inventory. Running a little bit slow right now because it does not like having Procaster running in the background. And I'm going to switch over to my 12 gauge. Have to remember which one the 12 gauge is. I'm terrible at remembering these things. There we go. And we'll take some birdshot. Get rid of all of the stuff that I brought out to Hemi last hunt. Clean out my inventory a little bit. I'm not going to bother bringing a ground blind or anything like that, but no harm in traveling light when we can. We are duck hunting, and I am an absolutely terrible shot, so I'll be bringing over all of my regular birdshot ammo. I'm also going to continue to bring my crossbow. Not that I'm going to try to take a duck with it, but if we happen to see a big deer, might get lucky. And I am a broke college student, and so like a lot of you, I don't have a whole ton of money to spend. As you can see, the only collar I am going to bring for duck is the Long Range Caller. And I don't have blinds for them, I don't have decoys. We're going to be going just with this. And because we do have other animals on the reserve, we might see an albino or something, of course I'll bring the other two, though I'm not really going to be trying for them today. No harm in bringing them along, though. Get our gun loaded up, and we are not going to be traveling terribly far. The nice thing about the way that the ducks spawn is that they really don't care where you are in relation to the lodge or anything like that. I actually like to go right about here. There is some nice area where you can see along the lake. It's a little bit of a darker color, which shows a little bit of a steeper bank, and you get a little bit of a water view. But you'll see through this technique, water view really is not that terribly important. I'm also not going to bother crouching. Like I said, I'm not out for a lot of other animals today, so I really don't care what sees me right now. 5 o'clock in the morning. As you can see, the bayou is quite pretty at this point in time. And eventually we're probably going to hear some other animals call. The ducks, because they just fly over and they're going to keep going, and they don't have the memory like the other animals do. For example, if you spook a deer, it's going to remember you for a good 6 minutes before it's even going to think about coming in again. The ducks overhead don't act like that, so if you are just going out for ducks, feel free to just walk out to your blind, or walk out to your hunting position, as long as you're not in a multiplayer game. Of course, you don't want to disturb other players. But I'm in single player, I don't have anybody to worry about, and so I can pretty much do what I want, which is why I like single player. And I do apologize for the quality of the audio. Hopefully you will be able to hear this okay. I use a program called Procaster, which is anything but pro, and the audio balance on it is absolutely terrible. If I tried to turn the game up or turn up my volume, we'd be having some pretty bad luck. We're getting into a good spot now, as long as I don't walk into the deep water. I've already heard some ducks going by, and this is where I have had success in the past. So what I'm going to be looking for is a nice little patch, something like this. As you can see that there is not much grass cover. I've got a pretty good view of the water. And I also would prefer, however, is that the ducks can go anywhere in here. See how on my hunter mate, it's showing shallow water. That gives them a lot of opportunities to land. The ducks do not appear to land in deep water quite as much, which is really good because, of course, we can't go into deep water to harvest them. By hunting along the edge of a deep lake, you have a pretty good chance of getting the ducks to land within your strip right in here, right on the edge of the lake, and that increases your chances of them coming in shotgun range, which is exactly what we're going to want. So I'm going to pick a place with a little bit of some elevation here, and when I go prone, which I'm about to do, you'll see I can't see squat. When those ducks come in, I'm not going to be able to see a dang thing. But as you'll see, that is really not the whole point of this. Now, ducks also do not respond to overcalling like the other animals do. If you overcall another animal, you're going to freak them out, and they're going to go into nervous state. The ducks respond very well to consistent calling, and so while I know this is probably extremely aggravating on your audio, it's also very good for getting the ducks to spawn, because they have a completely different spawn mechanism than the other animals. The other animals are all live on the map right now. The ducks are not, and they're going to come in as they come in. They tend to come in waves, and once they come in waves, you'll see usually about 3, 4, 5 waves at once, and then there'll be a little bit of a lull. The very far ones, we're not going to be able to break them off. And that is something that is very important for the duck hunting on the bayou. If the ducks don't break, you can't shoot them. The ones that are very high up, I don't care, you can fire at them all you want, but there's a 75-meter limit on how far birdshot is going to affect, and think of the ducks up in the sky as an animation. Only when they start to come into land are they actually a viable target. I just heard a white-tailed doe in the distance. I'm not going to worry about her. If I happen to see a big rack walk by, we might take a little bit of a break. And it can take a while for your flocks to start spawning. This is not at all unusual. And note, I'm not wearing anything special. I am not in a blind. I don't own a short-range collar, and I don't own any decoys. And as you can see, I didn't put any out. I can hear ducks coming now, and as you see, I am still calling. Just keep spamming that collar. What we want to do is get their attention and hopefully get some to break. And sometimes they break at a very good distance, so even though our flock has gone by, keep trying. As I said in my previous write-up, this is the poor man's way to hunt ducks. It will get you some ducks, but it is not efficient. I have gotten breaks at approximately, I would say, 1 out of 20 flocks. By consistently calling, it generates more flocks, at least from the way that I can understand the spawn mechanic works. And so by doing this, you're increasing your chances of bringing in a spawn, and then increasing your chances of the spawn to break. The chances of you breaking off ducks using this technique, in all honesty, is about 5% from everything that I have been able to tell. It is not very good. And when we do get some ducks to break, you'll see that it is also not a very efficient way to hunt. You have absolutely no way of picking and choosing your target, really. It is a matter of luck, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. We have another promising flock coming in here. They're on a really good keel toward me, and there's a good number. So hopefully we'll find that one or two of them is really stupid. That could be a break there. We're going to keep calling. And see if they'll circle around and come back yet. Here they come. I'm going to keep calling. Keep them interested. And here they come in for a landing. There's one. You can listen for the landing splash. And you can see those ducks. They are definitely coming in within shotgun range. So now we're going to switch over to the hunter mate. And what we want to do, after I get my gun loaded, oh no, I did load it, is listen for a really loud quack. The nice loud quack is going to show up as trackable. I know that the audio is quiet, but you can... There we go. We now have our location on our hunter mate for where one of the ducks is. I'm going to bring up my gun, get it aimed, whistle, and he flew off over the water. We did not get a shot this time. There go the rest of them. They're back up into the high position, so again, we're not going to get a shot. But as you can see, by absolutely no doubt, you can get the ducks to come in. You can see from the hunter mate that they were within range, and with a little bit of luck, it is definitely possible to hunt and get ducks this way.